How's it looking?
Yo, look at this. Dude, that is sick.
All right, it's 3 o'clock. We're gonna head out here on Connor's quads and we're all ready to go. We're gonna head up this road and get some cool shots.
Alright guys, we're out here. It's getting dark, so we're gonna start using the lights on the quads and hopefully we get some good shots. Okay guys, I'm shooting on a 16-35. My ISO is at 500 at f4 at 1/125 shutter speed. And I'm gonna bracket the exposure. So basically it takes 3 different images. So that way in post we'll have 3 different exposures. And then we can layer them to get a higher dynamic range.
How's it looking?
Yo, look at this. Dude, that is sick.
Oh wait, let me get focus. Come on. All right, we just got back from shooting. It turned out way better than expected. Now we're gonna go and edit. Alright, we're here in Lightroom. We've got the 3 images set up here. This one here is set up for the highlights, this one is set up for the shadows, and this one is set up for the midtones. So we are going to highlight all 3 of these images and photo merge them into a high dynamic range image. So here is the preview of the image that Lightroom has created. So we're gonna click merge. So here we are going to throw on a Peter McKinnon preset called 6 side. Right when you throw it on, it doesn't look great, but after you change some of the exposure and some of the white balance, it'll really bring out the style of the image. We're just going to go to a part of the snow where we know it's white. The tint is off, so we're going to bring down more into the magenta, bring down more into the cool, bring that down, bring up the exposure a bit more up here to straighten it, something like that. And I did notice it does have a lot of foreground, so I'm going to cut actually a bit of that out just to have more of the subject and have the subject right in the middle of the image. Something that I like to do is have a radial filter to draw your eyes towards the subject. So I will have one of those right around the subject or the object that you're shooting and just have nothing more than just bringing up the exposure a bit, shadows, and that's pretty much all that I would do. Maybe a bit of clarity. I would right click on that and duplicate that exact same radial filter and invert it, take down the shadows, bring down the exposure a bit where it really draws your eyes towards the middle of the image and draws you towards the subject that you're shooting. Alright, this is the final image before we dive into Photoshop, where we will create an overlay with snow and a light leak. Once the snow is framed to the right size of the image, you can go into the blending mode and change it to screen, where it will overlay and take out the black. Then we are going to go into filter, go into blur, and do motion blur, and you can bring up the motion of the snow and makes it look more realistic. Then we are going to go into filter, render, lens flare, and we are going to take this plus button and go right over top of the light of the quad, bring down the brightness so it doesn't look so extreme. That looks pretty good there. Do the exact same thing on the other light, but bring down the brightness because it's not so head on towards the lens, and that is our final image. Alright, that's a wrap. Hopefully you took something away from this.
Go follow us on Instagram to see the final shot and stay updated with our latest content. And we'll catch you in the next one.